Oh yeah, no, it's all good. No worries. Cool,
Yeah,
cool.
so we living in quarantine.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I don't know how long it's gonna be, but might as well get some work done while we're at it. No.
That's right, man. That's right. Thank you for reaching out to me and inviting me to your show. I was taking a look at your YouTube.
Oh wow. Yeah,
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, no, no joke, man. I appreciate you even, giving me the time of day as well, man. It's a good process to have, and I like sharing like music I actually am interested in, especially the ones that are up and coming, because there's still a lot more to be shown anyway. So, you know, that's why I was pretty stoked for this interview. So I'm really eager actually. So
Appreciate it. I'm honored to be here, bro.
cool, cool. So we'll get started right now because honestly, I don't have an intro for this type of podcast. I'm very indecisive, but I do go by Tony Oddball. This is an odd conversation here with a very special guest.
Oh, yeah, Scenario. What's up, Tony Alba?
Cool, man. I like how I'm throwing everybody off lately. I love it.
No, no. Yeah, it was good. Yeah, I had to be ready to go. I didn't almost
Mm. Yeah,
didn't
no.
be on your podcast. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, what's it called? I think I found out about your whole you as a person really was through Noah James like Orcomania thing that he has going on, and so how like first I would kind of want to like ask you a little more about that and like how you came at it.
Sure. Yeah. First of all, really quickly, you can hear me okay?
I can hear you. What's it called? There may be like a slight pause afterwards. The fan's okay. Yeah, the fan's alright.
Fan is affecting anything at all? You want
No,
me to turn that off? Good.
no, you're good.
But yeah, as far as Orgomania 30,000, yeah, Noah James, it's honestly one of those things that it just got inspired randomly to just do it. I actually have never done any of those challenges
Mm-hmm.
before, or as like the whole social media like do this challenge type of thing. So it's just kind of right time, right place. I just decided to do it. Honestly, I've been kind of a little bit like dormant as far as like doing shows and stuff like that for like the last maybe a little over a year. I've done like two shows, but I mean, as far as like consistently like doing shows, because I took a step back, like just to take care of like publishing, like all the back end business stuff for the music. And so anyway, right about now, sometimes things just start happening, right? So like
Yeah.
those just I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great. It's time to finish up some recordings this past winter. Actually feeling good and productive, and then out of nowhere, like producers that I've either like planned to work with or something, kind of started coming out of the woodworks. New people started coming out of the woodworks wanting to do stuff, and it was just crazy. And like it's just like this energy. That's my point. I think like whether it's negative or positive, it's like this energy just attracts. So the whole thing, I was scrolling online, feeling good. I was like, you know what, fuck, wrestling, that sounds fun. I don't know if I could do that though. Like, I'm a big wrestling fan, but I'm like like the biggest of all wrestling fans. So I'm just like, man, that played a significant part of my life growing up. But
Mm-hmm.
fuck it, let me just try it. And I just I did it.
You have any like favorite wrestlers off the top of your head?
Favorite wrestlers off the top of my head, is that what you said?
Yeah.
So yeah, hands down, Mick Foley. Foley is God. I remember hearing that in high school.
Mankind.
All three personalities, obviously Mankind being my favorite, but yeah, Mick Foley hands down, dude.
Oh, okay. For sure, for sure. I was a Hardy Boys fan back in my day.
Hell yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah.
High flying, bro. Like that shit was tight off the turnbuckle. Yeah, they were sick. They were cool because they're part of that too. Like I was always a fan, obviously, of like more the hardcore stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
Mankind, Dudley Boys, the Hardys, like all the people that came through the Japanese circuits, like the four that came over together, like Eddie Guerrero and Dean Malenko and like RVD, like all those guys. Like those are my favorites. But Mick Foley hands down.
Yeah, for sure. And, it's funny because my old roommate, I think what was it, 2 or 3 months ago, maybe a little longer. He ended up showing me Edge's return, and I haven't heard of Edge since then. Cause I stopped watching it maybe when I got to middle school or maybe high school, one of those two. And I remember like seeing Edge's return, and I don't know what's going on, but when I see him enter the stage, I actually got chills. And I'm not even a wrestling fan like that no more. But damn, it was
I,
good.
I think think it's. I was just talking with my buddy that it's funny. This challenge, like a bunch of buddies that I grew up with, like have nothing to do with like the hip hop scene or anything like that. They saw it online and they're like, dude, and we started like reminiscing. Because a lot of us, I definitely like I stopped watching maybe 15 years ago, like 10 years ago, something like that. I used to be like really into it though, like in my early high school years, and then shit just changes, you know, like the life changes, and then you just kind of not everybody. I just kind of went my way, so that's why for this challenge I was like, damn, I'm not really like up to date with all the new people, but this is what I know, and so I did it. Super fun, super event. Like shout out Big T Face and Noah James for doing that, and JMKM and DeFalco, like all the people that were a part of that whole thing, because that was some of the most fun that I've had creating music like in a while. Like, it was just so different and so fun.
Yeah. For sure, you know, shout out to all them dudes, man. Those dudes have been killing it for years. I never personally met Noah, never like talked to him, but I would love to interview him eventually. But you know, time will tell. We'll see how that goes. But
if you don't mind me asking, then, how do you know about Noah, or just online, or?
Yeah, just online, man. You know, it's a lot of just music stuff. I've been hearing about his music for a long time. I think he did because you know I interviewed Ends years ago, and I interviewed him again recently. But like a lot of people that I interacted with were always saying like, you know, positive things about Noah. And then I also remember seeing him on the 92.3 page. He also got an interview with Bootleg Kev, so I thought that was pretty dope.
Damn, I didn't even know about that.
Yeah.
Noah's active and he does so much stuff.
Yeah, man.
And he himself, once you interview him, like that guy for so many years was just putting on for the community, like over anything. And then finally, like the whole comment. I think the whole venue shutting down business was kind of like what I think sparked him and Lisa to just kind of be like, yo, we need to attack Noah as an artist. And Brad, that guy's done so much stuff like already before that, but then since the whole switch of like let's focus from Common Ground to like myself, man, shout out Noah and Lisa for freaking team effort. Like, it's inspiring to see that shit.
Yeah, you know what? I totally forgot about Common Ground. Shit, I remember those days because they used to have like, you know, all these up and comers on the list. Like even who was on the list? I know MC Life was on there. But they had some like real underground like rappers up there too. Like I think like Brass Cats was even on one of them too. Not sure.
Yeah, no, they got a lot of good names. One of my favorite ones was the Pac Div show, Pacific Division. They were there. Like that shit was packed like a motherfucker. Like, I'd always been there, and it was like it gets pretty like filled up, but man, everyone was like shoulder to shoulder.
Yeah.
And now teenage, who knows if that ever happens again? But yeah, man, it's crazy.
Jeez, honestly, it would be a good business move for anyone to do that after this whole thing, this whole quarantine gets lifted up. But you know, I did try to find some, you know, like I tried to do some research on you, you know, aside from your music and such, and I found like an interview that you did on your page. But like, you know, for those who don't know, we'll just start off with the basic questions and then try to, you know, proceed into your music, because the music part is what I'm really eager to get into. Like, because honestly, I already threw like 2 songs at least into my playlists, you know, so.
Oh, I appreciate that.
For sure. So, you know, basic question number 1, man. We're gonna ask where you're from and how was your upbringing.
Okay, cool. So, I'm from Puente, born and raised. My first formative year of life. Eventually moved to Baldwin Park for a few more years, and then Covina. So essentially, I've been all around like the San Gabriel Valley, now known as like the 626. Excuse me. So yeah, I've been here. Grew up around here. So you said where I've been, and I'm sorry. What else did you say?
Like, how's the whole upbringing from like your neighborhood and then up to your music?
Good, bro. I mean, I'm very blessed. I know not everyone's upbringing is as I consider myself very lucky to have 2 parents that raised me, and like fucking we're working all the time. But you know, now that I'm older, I look back at that shit. I'm like, that's a lot. Like, you know, so just to like work all day, come home tired, just eat, pretty much it, and then like the weekend that they would make time for me is just a miracle. So I think I'm blessed in that aspect. They are immigrants from, my dad's from Ecuador, from Guayaquil, Ecuador. I went to go visit the homeland there, like when I was 12. all my really close friends are gonna laugh if they watch this right now because there's like this inside joke. Because apparently I always talk about when I was 12 and I went to Ecuador. But so yeah, so my dad's from Guayaquil, Ecuador. He came here when he was like 18, and then my mom is Mexicali, right here from the border, Mexico. She came here when she was in her teens too. So yeah, man, they struggled, and like it sounds probably like cliche just because I say it all the time, but like they struggled, and I always think about fucking how lucky I am that I didn't have to do that shit, because that's fucking crazy to come and like uproot your whole like life and go to another country. So, you know, it was cool around here in La Puente. It's a suburb, but like I don't know. Are you familiar with La Puente?
Yeah, I never really got to Puente so much, but my uncle's girlfriend or wife or whatever the hell she is, yeah, she's always talking about Puente, and
Yes.
but she grew up on the ghetto side of it, so that's the type of insight I have from it.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, like throughout the years, because I've been here a few years on this earth. Like, throughout the years, it's changed. Like I think the '80s and early '90s are pretty active. It calmed down, and then it has a period of activity again, and then right now I'd say it's pretty mellow. But I'm in like the middle areas, like not the nicest and not the like the worst. But so
Mm-hmm.
yeah, but otherwise, man, I think I had went to school and shit, normal stuff. Went to high school. Um, Ended up going to college and dropping out.
Mm-hmm.
Went back to school a couple years back. Finished up. Yeah, I think I'm already getting to the older part of my life, but yeah, that's like my personal side kind of stuff. Yeah,
All
upbringing
right.
was
And,
interesting.
no, no worries, man. And that's like one thing I try to tell everybody, man. This is your interview. You go ahead and speak on whatever you want to speak on. Don't let me, like hold you back. Ugh. Oh shit, sorry about that. And then what's it called? But like I do want to kind of get into like how long you've been making music and like what got you like pursuing this type of craft.
Yeah, music. I'd say it's been a good like since the first time I actually recorded with intent to distribute
Mm-hmm.
was probably like 2007, 8. So it's been a little while. I kind of way I got into it, like as an artist, I guess, because there's different ways of music, right? So like
Mm-hmm.
there's a time where I started like performing. There's a time where I like got into like just music overall. There's becoming like an artist. So to start it all off, like, and I'll try to keep this as concise as possible. But like when I was like maybe 3, 4, just a kid who just like everyone loved Jay and all that stuff, and that's your idol. I tried to do the same moves. I used to put on little talent shows for my family in the living room. One of my favorite gifts were my inherited record player from my brother, that I used to play like old 45s on, and a microphone stand that like I used to sing out of. It had like a built-in microphone, and I used to sing everything from like Feliz Navidad to like random oldies and stuff like that. So I always liked to perform, always did talent shows and stuff, but it was more like an outlet. Like I think because I wasn't like trained. Like there's kids and there's people like, for example, maybe unrealistic expectations to have for yourself as a kid or at any time. But I was just like, damn, if you're not MJ, like why even try? Like that's kind of in my head when I was little. It's like, so if you didn't like start when you were young and you didn't like get sent to like classes and learned and like did all that shit, like I felt like, especially after a certain age, and I'm talking about, I was already thinking just middle school or high school. I'm like, yeah, it's too late, bro. Like, if you didn't get groomed for this shit, like, you're never gonna be someone like MJ. Like, that's kind of how, I don't know, my mentality was. So I never really like took it seriously. I just loved to perform all the time. It wasn't until like end of high school, like, I would really start to sing more like in publicly, because I was just doing it as a class clown. To be honest with you, I used to like imitate singers and actors. I used to just be that guy that just doing imitations and being a clown or whatever. And I guess I take pride in my imitations, like even if that involves singing. Like so, I try to sing like the person, or like I used to always imitate freaking Zapp and Roger like noises. It's just weird. Like it's so weird, but that stuff. Just doing it eventually, just the randomest people, whether they were friends, the family of the friends, or just a stranger, because I'm doing it in public, being a weirdo. Like people would be like, "Yo, you can sing. Like you should sing." So, it just took like enough of that to finally be like, "Fuck, I guess I'm not too old. Like let's like try this out." So I was doing it. Like I said, I'm trying to keep this short. In college, like I kind of started doing the just focus on school, fraternity stuff. I had been kind of with like friends, kind of doing garage band stuff, but I wasn't taking it as seriously once again. And then they kind of just started taking off, doing their own thing. Eventually, I reconciled with one of my really good friends who was like super deep into it already. His name is Joel. Shout out Joel. He's part of the crew, the Antidotes crew, which is like my first original hip hop crew. The first record, so like they kind of started. They were just putting stuff out on like MySpace back then. In A&R from Japan at this label called Goon Tracks, which is under like this other bigger label, me. And A&R reached out, signed the group to distribution. I thought it was a distribution deal. In retrospect, it was actually just a licensing deal, which is crazy. If you want to get into the intricacies of that, but anyway, did like 2 albums through there. I kind of just got added up to the group like right before or like right at the time of the signing, because I was really just kind of touring with them, doing everything, like being a roadie, like doing security. I was helping them like do casting for their music videos. Like there was a small part of me that was kind of like, I didn't get to be the artist, so let me just do like the business side of shit. And I felt really confident on the business side of shit. All my jobs had been like sales and just stuff like that, so I felt good about it. And it wasn't until like I was on like a little tour with them in Arizona, and they were like, "Dude, you should just be part of the group." So that's kind of what happened. They already knew that I sung. It just kind of I didn't really pursue it on my own. So that was just kind of me doing hooks for them. Eventually, it grew to something larger. Split off to another group called the Jalapeno Brothers. I had always been okay, just kind of doing like the business, being like a featured voice on it, doing the songwriting, and then trying to take care of like the back end music stuff. I never really like pursued my own solo. Like people had always said like, when are you gonna put out a record? And anyway, to wrap it all up, that kind of started over the last 3 years. Is me finally, all right, let me put out my own music. Let me pick my own beats. Let me write the whole thing front to back. Let me do the planning, the marketing, all that stuff. So that's new, even though I've been, I guess, technically in the game like for a couple years longer than that. As an artist, I feel it's kind of like rebirth, and got like 3 years going for that. So yeah, cool. Man. Hopefully that wasn't too long, man.
No, like I stated already, man. This is your interview, so you say as you feel. But so how did the name Cee Nario come up?
So with that group, the Antidotes, Mark Fader, shout out Mark Fader. He's the producer of the group, the sound engineer, kind of like the father that started it all. We were just we used to record everything at his house in like Chino Hills, all back, like in this room. And one night, just having drinks, recording, taking a break, taking a smoke break, whatever. And then I had always gone. I didn't really pick a name up to that point. But it was because my mom always called me Canario growing up, which in Spanish means canary. Because I would always be, like I said, growing up, I always was like singing, like whistling, even like whatever. And she used to call me Canario. So I was kind of like, how do I pick a name? I had this name from like football, which is like what I defaulted to at first. Like, but honestly, it's fucking. It could be totally taken as offensive. My last name is Zambrano in real life, right? So my coach, I had a football coach who was, I don't know, just lazy with it and just trying to give me a nickname. So he called me Zambo, which, like, if you look that up in like American history, is a pretty bad word. It's like tied to like fucking race shit. Like that's what they call the caricatures that they make of people. So it had nothing to do with that, but it was a shortening of my last name. But I was using that for a little bit, and then I was like, yeah, nah, people are gonna think that no, like I can't do that. So then that night when I'm kind of like discussing that with Mark Fader, he's like, well, what name do you put on Canario? And he just spit out like, oh, maybe not that, but what about Cee Nario? And then that's it, bro. So that's a canary, and I guess Americanized it kind of and made it a name. Yeah. And then like a dual word, right? Like, what's the scenario? So what's good? Yeah.
Yeah. No, I feel that. I mean, I don't know why. It kind of reminds me of Richie Valens. You know, if you watch La Bamba, where they kind of renamed him. You know, I mean, it kind of reminded me of that in a sense.
That's dope.
Yeah, man. Which La Bamba is definitely one of my all-time favorite movies. So I mean, that's why it was just instant. So what can I say?
Thanks,
So,
Tony.
oh yeah, no, it's all good, man. And I'm this is gonna be like a odd question to ask, but are you like a religious dude at all?
Um, I think growing up I was kind of religious,
Mm-hmm.
more so than now. Now that I have a fiance now, like we're getting married, trying to plan out like, oh, when are we gonna have kids, stuff like that, right? So it's just kind of like one of the things that I go back to now. Damn, this is the most roundabout way to answer this question. I would say I'm not necessarily super religious. I do believe in God, and that like, I have my beliefs on it. I was raised in the Catholic Church. I still consider myself Catholic, but I'm not like many people nowadays. Like, I feel religion and religious rules and things like that are open to interpretation and have changed over the years. Like, whether we believe like God is fallible. I mean, I'm sorry, we believe God is infallible, right? That he's perfect or whatever, but humans are fallible. Like, we are kind of screw ups by definition. So it's like playing telephone. You pass the line, and then by the end of the 30th person, like, it's a whole different message, right? Remember that game from
Yeah,
high school?
we're now told that you're born fucked up. All right, so
Yeah.
just try to unfuck yourself, and then you'll be up here.
Yeah.
Mm.
So anyway, man, yeah, I'm spiritual, believe in God, but I don't know if I would consider myself religious.
Yeah.
Why did you ask?
I asked. I just can't remember what song it was on the Stay Wavy project with Instigate. Yeah, I thought I wrote down a song that kind of referred to like a belief. So that's all I think. Oh, okay, like I didn't know if that was the case. Only because I do know a lot of like Christian rappers. So that's why I was like, okay, I'll ask and see if there's a window open for anybody to work with. You know what I'm saying?
Interesting. Yeah, no, I think I know what you're talking about. I kind of referenced the prayer that that Jesus to have said on the cross, right? Like,
yeah, there. It's like forgive them for they don't know what they're doing or something like that, or yeah.
And in that song, it's kind of one of those things that like, because I grew up and I know like, I don't know, I can't like quote verses like in the Bible and stuff like that, but it's like I grew up and went to Catholic school, like I actually like paid attention, so like I learned the good and bad history of like the church and all that stuff. So like actually I feel like I know what I'm talking about. I don't go out there and evangelize people or try to get into people's business with like their religion and stuff like that. But like if you ask me like as a discussion, like, oh, what is the Catholic view on this? Like, I'm not necessarily my view, but it's like this. I can explain that this, like, right. So, shit, I am getting on a tangent here, bro. But you asked me something right now. So anyway, when I was the Father Forsake Me thing, just kind of like it just hit me, and it was kind of like a thing to throw back on my dad's upbringing and like kind of like getting beat and stuff like that. Growing up and so, yeah, that is the most roundabout way to explain that. But yeah,
it's all good, no worries. But I do have to say, I think the only project I really listened to was Stay Wavy, only because it was kind of like I don't know when I started some of the like one other album or mixtape that you came out with. I just couldn't like really sit with it because I still had to say wavy sound in my head. So reverting back to that, like there are songs in there like Get Along and Be My Baby that like I kind of just threw into my like first date playlist. You know what I'm saying? Because like it's soothing, man. What can I say?
I appreciate that, bro. Hell yeah. Enjoy it as long as you like. The other stuff will be there later.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? And so that's why, and then that's also gonna lead me to this thing where I'm starting to do now on the show. I think I've only done it to like one interview. But like I'm coming up with a thing where I randomly pick a topic and I get to ask you what song would you add into this kind of playlist. You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the year, gonna have whatever playlist I have and throw it up and say this came from all the guests, blah blah blah. Long story short. So I am gonna go with First Date. Like if you were to add a song for a first date, that can't be yours though. But if you were to like play any song on a first date. Like what's for sure hitting that playlist?
Damn, I'm just gonna say whatever comes to mind, bro. So I think I'll put on Tevin Campbell's "Can We Talk." This is from the early '90s. Cause that I used to sell cell phones in the mall, and that was one of the jobs I had. And me and this other homie Tristan, we used to like. All of us, we had to do whatever we could to like get people to like stop. Like the guys in the kiosk are the number one people you don't want to talk to when you go to the mall, right? So you have to be like creative and try to think of like ways to get people's attention in a positive way.
Mm.
So that could be anything from like capping on them, even like in a playful way, to flirting, to jokes, like whatever, to singing. Like so yeah, like me, anytime me and him, when I was single and all that stuff, like I would say, "Can we talk?" Like if a girl passing by and she's like, "Well, what the hell?" And then, "Oh, let me see that phone real quick." Like,
Wow, man, you know how to open windows then, no?
so it's an icebreaker. Is the point? Like I was like, that's the first date. We'll put the icebreaker on.
Shit, man, it definitely beats my icebreakers. Usually, I'm like, how much does a polar bear weigh? I'm like,
bro, I barely, but fuck. I just wanted to say something to break the ice, right? Yeah.
it's like I don't know, but or no, it's like how much does the polar bear weigh? And you're like, how much? You go, oh, enough to break the ice. Hi, my name's Tony.
Yeah, there we go. There we go.
Yeah. So, but I do want to like kind of touch on get along a little more, just because like, it kind of reminded me of like when you mentioned Zapp and Roger earlier, I could kind of see where you come up with like the harmonizing sounds when you come into the intro of the song, because it also reminds me of Zapp and Roger, and oddly it reminds me of Isaiah Rashad, if you know who that is.
I do.
Yeah, and so it just had that that feel with the harmonizing sounds from Zapp, but then you also have like the swagger of like Isaiah like right after, and then afterwards it just goes directly into like your whole creation that you came up with, and honestly I love it, man. Yeah, that's just me personally. That's my personal favorite song. Then Be My Baby, obviously, but yeah.
Thank you, man. That's high praise. I appreciate that, bro. That's wow. I'm very humbled and kind of speechless. Like, thank you. Later, you talking about Get Along, you said, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. Thank you. I'm actually, that's one of the songs I didn't think that would get like a lot of interest, but it's surprising to me when people say that that's their favorite song. It's surprising to me because it's like, that's cool. You listen. At least that's how I feel.
No, for sure. I mean, like this is kind of like my job. So I mean, what can I say?
Yeah.
But you know what though? Like, yeah, just keep it up, man. I mean, I wish I had a lot more to emphasize on it. It's just that I don't want to like overdo it, oversaturate it, because everyone else has to listen to for themselves, and so.
They can all listen to it everywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
Music, and go to my website. It's all there.
For sure. And so, how was the creative process coming up with your latest single, Subway, with Soul Chef?
That one, man, I'm gonna like tell you the truth, bro. It's kind of it was an old song that was in the vault. Actually, one of the first. Actually, I'm gonna say that's the first complete song I wrote front to back by myself. Like, aside from the instrumentation, that's all Soul Chef. He wrote the melody, the beat essentially. But as far as the melodies of the singing, the front, like the writing and all, first complete song that I ever wrote. So it was kind of one of these things that like every time I started doing my own projects, things with the groups that I was in at any given time would always kind of start taking off or require a lot of attention, and then I would always put my stuff in the back burner. So when I finally started, the reason I think I revived that one actually is because I was doing shows. I did a show at the Observatory. That was, I think it was a show that I did opening for Blue in Exile, and for their 10th anniversary for Below the Heaven.
Nice.
Fucking amazing crowd. Like, much love to that crowd. They were fucking awesome. But yeah. So this guy approaches me later on. He ends up being a video like director, or he's more into like film stuff. But he was like, "Yo, really fuck with your stuff, like into music videos, let's work or whatever." So he was just kind of like asking me what song I wanted to do, and at the time, Stay Wavy, I think I was about to put it out, or I had just put it out. No, I was getting ready. I was just like finalizing it, and I think I was just kind of like, I may change stuff and Stay Wavy. Like, I don't know if I want to do videos for Stay Wavy yet. Like, I'm definitely gonna do videos, but I'm like, let me start off with Subway, because I felt Subway was like a pretty strong song, and I was just like, this is a song that's already done. I didn't do anything with it. Like, let's kind of revive it, distribute it, put a music video out for it, and yeah, man. So it's funny. It's actually one of the oldest songs I wrote but I put it out recently, and so me and Solstice are working on some new stuff though. So that's gonna be that's one of the producers that I just recently kind of reopened communication with, and I'm excited. He's excited too. Want to do some new Spanish stuff with him, Spanish like influence stuff. It's pretty crazy. So, but anyway, yeah, that's what was the reason why they wavy. I mean, sorry, Subway. Excuse me.
Oh yeah, no worries. I saw what she's doing. All right, man. Yeah, I dig it, man. That's why, for sure, after this whole day is over, pretty much, because it's a lot of your music is very laid back as well. A lot of more like, it makes me want to like call up a Tinder girl. I'm like, hey, come on over. I don't want to have sex with you and stuff, but I mean, like, we can listen to some music.
Yeah, that's dope. Hell yeah. If it helps people, connect, I love that. That's what one of my main goals with music, bro.
For sure, man. So there's another thing I do on the show now. I've been keeping it running for a while. So basically, since we're in this whole quarantine lockdown thing, let's just say that the possibility of this being extended all the way up till fucking the rest of the year, the rest of 2020, and something fucks up with the Wi-Fi. Now you only for some reason can only have access to 3 artists or bands of your choice discography. But with the discography, it also includes like features, productions that they're affiliated with. So, what are your options?
Oh my God, what do I have the most of? So it could be discard. You left it pretty open there. So, shit. I want to say like my instincts are like for some reason, Neo. With all the writing that guy did. Shit.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Who?
Kanye West.
Oh, okay, Kanye, okay.
He's got a whole catalog, so he got a lot of production out there too on top of his own music,
You have the whole Daytona album, dude, from Pusha T. That's what I'm more excited about. Jesus.
Who would be the third one? It's got to be some kind of thing because I fucks with rock. I don't know, man.
Metallica. No, that's good. Yeah, no. I love Metallica, dude. Metallica. It's funny because just as of recently, I've been listening to like a lot of like behind the scenes of like a lot of iconic bands, such as like fucking Korn, Metallica. Well, not Metallica yet, but now I'm definitely gonna be on that. But Metallica, Korn. I'm like, fuck, I just said it again. Shit. Sorry about that. But no, but it's that one. Damn it, man. Why the fuck? Oh, Slipknot. There you go. Slipknot was definitely. Yeah, I found a lot of crazy shit about them, dude. And now I'm like, I'm more prone to be listening to their music now. So yeah, it's pretty dope.
Oh, how did I not? Yeah, I still go with Metallica though. I was gonna say, how did I not say Rage Against the Machine? But I'm like, nah, Metallica. It's funny because, sometimes for a moment. I kind of hesitate on listing Metallica as one of my favorite bands. It's so stupid, but it's because I feel like it gets shade. Like, I feel like they get shade sometimes when you think about, like, because there are technically, and I use that word on purpose, technically, musically, like, better bands.
For sure.
Metallica and just, like, the period, what it played in my life and the period of my life that I was in, and just like the whole catalog, even though like at one point it was like, damn, you guys loved it. But for this long era of just like amazingness. So I don't know, I fuck some Metallica, bro.
No, yeah, for sure. It's funny, but first girlfriend I ever had, we actually had a first kiss to a Metallica song, Ride the Lightning.
Oh hell yeah.
She was pissed the fuck off, but I thought it was pretty cool.
That's funny, bro.
Yeah.
That's memory.
Oh no, hands down. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, she was a bitch, but I mean, like, that song was cool.
That's funny, bro.
Yeah. So, I only have like a few more questions before we dip out of here, man. But like, do you have any advice to anybody who want to pursue this type of career, or like any life advice for anybody listening?
Yeah, I mean, as far as so in both. Either for this career or for anything, I think just focus on having like empathy. Like, I'm gonna sound like Gary Vee and shit right now, but it's true. Like focus on being empathetic to like other people and their situation, because Like everyone's pissed about something, and everyone's like hurt about something, or whatever. Like deep down inside, some people hide it better than others. But like, be empathetic, like to your fellow man or woman, because it's hard for us to like remember that. I feel like personally, like, and so if you kind of remind yourself to be empathetic, that can expand to your own success, for your own benefit, actually. So you could argue it's actually kind of selfish to do it. Because at the end of the day, hopefully that's not why you're doing it. But if you're being empathetic, you're probably going to make more connections. You're probably going to make friends. And probably whatever you're selling, because everyone's kind of selling something low-key. Like, they've got something to promote, some kind of baby, some kind of business. Maybe it's not their business, but it's like what they do. So, like, there's this essence of sales, like, not even in a bad way, that's, like, always happening, right? So, like, sales is just like another word for like a discussion, I guess. I don't know. And that stuff happens most likely with people you know, and most likely with people you like. So like it all boils down to that, I guess. Just being empathetic, being nice. Like it doesn't cost us a penny to be nice. Then you don't have to like be a doormat. Don't be a doormat. Defend yourself. Like, yes, always look out for number one, but like that doesn't prohibit you from being nice to people. Music-wise, I would say make sure to, if you really want like longevity. Like this is advice I give myself daily. So, like, always make business shit is handled, because I feel like the music part is kind of the easy part. Creating the music, and it's weird. Obviously, there's times where you could have writer's block, or you could just like be not feeling it today or whatever. Musicians go through that all the time. Songwriters go through that all the time. But it's more about just like make sure that you have like your business stuff ready to go, because the music will flow eventually, as long as you continually try every day or try every other day if you're like super busy or something, and this is you have to maintain a family. Like consistency with doing it is just going to help you. Now, what is hard, or can be hard for some people, is like the whole business that like you want to just create and make dope music and shit like that. Either one of two things. Either one, you're gonna have to have someone that's like your second half or your other half, basically. Like it can't just be a person. It's got to be someone that's as invested in you as you should be about yourself. Like something like that you can go 50-50 on, and maybe you're like the creative side and they're like the business side. If you can be the lucky one to like be in that situation, then all power to you. Do that. But most people aren't in that situation. Most people have to depend on themselves to like do the business side of stuff, the boring stuff. You know what I mean? So finding maybe something about the boring stuff that you like, kind of, because you're gonna have to do it. And especially with just in the time that I first had my experience with like a record label to now, so much has changed in the music game. So right, like the purpose of a label, like why you need a label, how they can help, or why you don't need one, right? Like that was stuff that people didn't really talk about like 20 years ago. It's 15 years ago even. It was just kind of on the verge of being talked about, really. And nowadays, though, it's like a whole different strategy. So think of it like from always a deal, right? You got to think of, or if you want to have success, you got to think of the other person, like in their position, because you know what you want, right? In a business deal, you know what you want. In order to get the business deal done, you have to know what the other person wants and understand it, and then you basically come to some kind of agreement where you hopefully meet halfway. But if you don't understand what the other person on the other side wants, then how can you be true, right? So in the record deal, record business, if your thing is to get a label or something like that, because not everybody wants that, but it's like you want that label money because you feel like you've done everything you can do on your own. Now you need somebody to light a flame, like a fire under it, or add a match or whatever, add gasoline to the fire, and you need a label. Like nowadays, records don't sell like they used to. Like, we all know this isn't a secret. So why the hell am I going to spend record companies' money taking a chance developing you? Like, they don't have time for that shit anymore. So if you actually want to, like, get with the label or even have self-success, what I tell myself every day is I gotta do the business stuff. Like, so you budget out part of your day for that. And I guess that's it. That's kind of why I had to take this, like, year and a half off, because for so long all I did was just the creative, and I was interested in the business stuff, and I would take like things here and there, but now I have a process. So I have like a little whiteboard, and it's just like every time I create a new song, BMI, song trust, distributor, sound exchange. So you want to complain about not making money, but are you trying to squeeze every little penny you can out of it? Yes or no, right? The homie Jamil Potts, aka Hard Work, from West Covina here in 626, he's an MC, and I done some stuff with him before. I'll always remember, like, he used to like do Snap or these IG stories, and he would like zoom in on change that he would find on the floor, and it's funny because like I kind of knew what he was doing, but I remember saying like, he's like, look. And he explained finally one day after so many, he will zoom in on the penny and then he basically picks it up or whatever. Or a dime, a nickel, whatever. And he said, he's like, that he learned from something or something he read was basically like, if you're too good to pick up that penny, like, then, like, you basically don't know how to see opportunities in things. I don't know how the way he said it and the way he delivered it, but essentially, if you're too good to pick up that penny, then you probably might be too good for that dollar, and maybe you're too good for that $100. Like, it's kind of like that mentality where, like, it's too small for you, you're too big for it. Like, if you think like that, you're going to miss a lot of opportunities that end up being, like, larger. So, anyway, going back to, like, you can say, like, oh, it's fucked up, like, Pandora and Spotify and Apple Music, like, they don't pay shit per stream. Or you could just make sure you get paid for everything and anything that you can get for, and don't leave anything like to chance, because at the end of the day, like, you're still gonna have to make your own money selling merch or doing touring and all that. But why not have a little gravy coming in all the time? Whether it's like, depending on your catalog, maybe you get like nothing licensed and you're just performing. Like, you get paid every time you perform. People, I guess people don't know that. Some people don't know that. Like, you get paid every time you perform if you're the songwriter for that song. You have to just report it to your BMI up, and then you get paid. It may be just like a couple dollars at first, but the larger the crowd, the larger the venue, you consistently do those every week. Are you reporting that? I remember one time, like, I didn't have anything streaming, and I was just doing that, and I was getting like, it ain't shit, but like, I get $100 check, like $50 check, $70 check, like, you know, it's just, it ain't shit at first if you're not really doing too much, but is a $50 check good or a $0 check? You know what I mean? So just try to get your business shit right, because that way, if you get a process like that, like, now I know when I make a song, I have to record it, I have to register it in that order, and then just get the hell out of the way, because I don't want to spend any more time on that than I need to. And that's it, bro.
No, that's perfect, man. Honestly, like, I love having like business insight, because, you know, the only time I really went to, well, I mean, I've been to college, you know, for a couple of years, but like the class I shined the most in was music business, and you know what, man, like, I've been eager for like someone to really give insight on like music business tips, and so yeah, man, just you really going in depth with that. That's really awesome. I loved it every second of it, man.
That's dope, man. Thank you. Thank you for giving to talk my shit.
No, of course, man. Don't even worry about it. And watch, after this whole quarantine lifts up, man, we'll get a fucking in person. We'll go in depth with more than just like music business as well, but like, you know, your work and everything you're gonna be releasing from now till then. You know what I mean? So, dude, like, if you're up for it, I'm up for it. You know, I think it'll be dope. Mm-hmm.
And I got, by that time, my new music will be out. I'm dropping singles this summer. So I'm gonna drop this song Superficial coming in June. And then I got like 3 more that are just ready. I just need to get artwork for it to drop. And I was on an interview with Noah the other day. Last Friday, he had Brick to Your Face had the first like music video countdown, and I got to be a part of that. He played the music video for Subway, and a bunch of other dope artists that were like all from kind of the Common Ground family. Like, this shit was dope. There was a reunion on there on the live. And anyway, hold up. Why the hell did I bring this up right now? Oh, me and Noah were having this conversation. They were like doing interviews, and we'll have to save that another day because I forgot.
Nah, don't even worry about it. It's all good.
Shit. Yeah, I can't remember, bro. I feel like I'll take forever to remember, but we will save that for another day, my man, or I'll put it in the comments or something.
Yeah, that works too, man. We'll get this. If anything, if you can't remember, we'll get it in person. We'll see how that runs through. But you know what, man? I appreciate I appreciate for your time, everything that you said. You know.
You're gonna hate me. I'm sorry. I got the thought.
Okay, yeah, go for it.
Sorry. So we were on the interview, and Noah basically challenged me, and I love when this happens. He challenged me. He's like, "Dude, am I gonna get 2 albums this year?" And it's already April, and I said, "Fuck yeah!" So I have the material for you because he's like, "You got the material." I put it together, and so that's basically what I committed to on live a couple days back, and that's on the mission. So single's gonna be dropping soon. Whoever's listening, I would love for you guys to tune in. My name is spelled Cee. There's a space, and then Nario, like Mario, but with an N like Nancy. So Cee Nario, and my website's thescenario.com. You can like stay up to date with everything out there, man.
For sure, man. Thank you again, man. Just like an intro, I don't have an outro either, but I do go by Tony Awdball. This is an odd conversation here with a very special guest.
Nario, thank you, Tony. I appreciate you, man.
For sure, man. No worries. I'll let you know when this comes out. We're probably looking for like another couple weeks and stuff, just because I have everything lined up. So we'll see how everything goes.
Good luck with all the rest of the interviews. Actually, Ed's was the one that I caught, so looking forward to watching.
Cool, man. I appreciate it, dude. For sure, we'll be in contact a lot more, man. I really appreciate it.
Yes, sir.